Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk a little bit about the medical and what I do, and because everybody needs some kind of medical attention. Now, one of the things that I promote, especially in the three-man militia, is first aid, and that's something everybody really should be able to start taking some kind of classes, learn something about it. Even better yet, take a first responders class. That would be a really good thing. Now, for me, for years, let's say when I was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I used a veterinarian for my primary doctor. If I couldn't take care of it, I went to my veterinarian friend. He's the one that took care of me. Now, and that was, like I say, 42. I think it was about 42 years old. I went to college, and I took medical classes. That's like a doctor would take. I took doctor classes, and it was what was really weird is, well, for one thing, I'm 42, and everybody else is what, 18 to 20, 21 years old. And so I'm the old guy in the class. And I would ask questions because, like I say, to pass these classes, you have to memorize all this stuff. And for me, what they were talking about, we're talking about the organs, how they work, and all this type of stuff. And I say, the professor and I, we'd always have conflicts. I know how the body works. I studied, or the body and the organs. I studied that, the body and the organs, when I was a kid, when I was learning martial arts. To be effective in martial arts, you have to know how the body works, so I did. And so I studied it and I learned, and but you're limited on how much you can learn, especially as a kid when it comes to the body. But I did a lot of anatomy and wanted to learn all this stuff. And I didn't do it by the book. A lot of it was self-taught. And then when I was in Vietnam, there's a lot of blood and guts in war. And I was able to do some hands-on stuff. And so not only I know how the organs work, I was able to, like I say, do hands-on, and I could see the stuff. I could tell what everything was. I knew what its job was, and this kind of stuff. So and I got out when I was 19. So by the time I was 19, I probably had more anatomy class than than anybody else in college classes. And so when I went to college at 42 years old, when the professor would start talking about how the body works, I would come back with, well, how do you know this? Because it wasn't in what I know. What he was saying wasn't what I know to be fact. And he was saying it like it was a fact. And what it was, he was just like the rest of these kids in the class. He learned this stuff from somebody. And that somebody was pharmaceuticals. And so the pharmaceuticals, they're going to teach you stuff that involves pharmaceutical stuff. And so needless to say, the professors and I, we never got along, and they would always threaten me that you're really not going to pass this class unless you learn what I tell you. And then I tell them, I'm not here to pass a class. I'm here to get smart. I want to learn, but I want to learn stuff that's accurate. And so we got a lot of conflicts. And but anyway, the point I'm getting to is we as normal people aren't that far off on knowing as much or more than medical doctors do. Now, when it comes to the pharmaceuticals, yes, they're way ahead of us. They know what kind of medicine you use. But to stay healthy and to fix problems, especially minor problems. I mean, anybody can do minor problems. It just takes some experience. And I find it odd how many people go to the doctor and to the emergency with stuff that's not that big of a deal. I say when I'm 67 years old, and a lot of people my age, when we were kids, you don't see a doctor or the emergency unless you're right on the verge of death. And like I say, so we had to learn to take care of our loved ones and our friends. And and that's where I'm going to on this, because I've had two, both I guess were kind of major operations, and I went to a medical doctor, and I talked about this on with like a auto mechanic. You just don't take your car into the auto mechanic and say, hey, it's not working right, fix it, because they're not, you don't know if they're going to fix it or not, and you don't know how much they're going to charge. You don't know nothing. I treat my medical doctor the same way. When I went in, I'll tell you, one of them was I had shrapnel, and so I just don't go in and say I got a problem and just go take care of it. No, I go in, I tell him exactly what the problem is and exactly what he needs to do to get that problem corrected, and if he's got the capability of doing it. And I do the same thing with my friends. If I get injured some way or another, if I can't fix myself, I used to have my wife patch me up a lot on, especially when I was training SWAT teams. Man, I'd come back all cut up, beat up. I mean, they tore me up, and she'd have to patch me all up. And now, since I lost my wife, now I've got friends that I go to on getting all patched up and stuff like that. But it's funny because, like I say, in the 40s is when I started really learning the trade of getting healthy and putting people back together and helping people. And I've been sharing that with other people. And so, and I say, first I look for like-minded people that are concerned about other people and they want to learn this stuff. And like I say, it's funny because you're thinking, well, they're going to be a doctor. No, you don't have to be a doctor. You're playing the rules like they want you to play to be an MD doctor. But you can be a doctor, a medical. You can do it. Like I say, you take your first responder classes. You start learning how the body works. And then with practice, you start doing little things, taking out splinters and stuff like that. And then the next thing you know, you're going to be doing more serious stuff. And like I say, even sewing, I've had all kinds of people sew on me and, digging stuff out of me and stuff like that. I don't think, other than the shrapnel, I don't think I've had anything, anybody other than strangers and friends, cut on me and cut me up. But like I say, and sew me up. But like I say, there are a lot of minor stuff. Now, it's minor to me because I've had so much done to me. And but like I say, it's good. It's a good way. I let people that I know practice. They can practice on me. And because like I say, one of these days they might be digging bullets out of me, So, and like I say, you don't need a doctor to do all that kind of stuff. It's nice if you do, but you just need to learn how to play doctor. We always talk about playing doctor. Well, you really can, and you can really be helpful to a lot of people. There's so many like fevers. People don't know what to do with fevers. They don't know how to do it with cuts and burns and stuff like that. But there's things you can do, and you just need to learn how to do all this stuff. And it's fun. It's fun to be helpful, and it's and helping others and this type of stuff. That's why I have it in the 3-man militia, and it's a very good thing to do. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about it because you have to be open to the idea of not only you helping others, but letting others help you, even though they don't have a certificate. And but I say there's a lot we can do, and now we have access to a lot of stuff that we could use to help others. Just think about it. This Mike, NoStressMike.com.